Hi guys, my name is Mohammad. Javid. Performance is my passion, and the name of this show is The Young Driver. And today I'm reviewing the 2014 Ford Focus ST. This is thanks to my buddy Zach, and I'll show you around the car, show you all the weird features, all the engine, and the interior as well. So let's take a look at the front as usual. I mean, Ford really did a great job designing this car. It looks different than a standard Focus. You get a big ST badge. The grille's way bigger than you would usually get on a Focus. The headlights are HIDs, and you don't really get that on standard Focuses nowadays. So that's pretty nice. Coming to the side of the vehicle, you get your mirror indicators, and that means it's a higher spec car. The cheaper ones don't have that. So if you get the turn signals on your mirrors, it means it costs a little bit more. The wheels, I think they look pretty good. They match the color of the car very well. This isn't Tangerine Scream, so it doesn't bug your eyes, and it matches the wheels pretty well, in my opinion. It's a 5-door hatchback. It's considered 5-door with the hatch at the back, so it doesn't look that, compared to some competing hatches, it might not look as sporty, but in the US, you don't even get 3-door hatchbacks anyways, so it's pretty nice. It gives you extra practicality. Looking at this taillight, many people usually ask Focus owners why they're so big, and the reason is, well, if you own anything else, this is what you'll see most of the time, so you don't crash into the back of it, because let's be honest, who would win to a Focus like this in a race? So the big question with a hot hatch is, does Mohammad Javid fit in the back? I do easily, especially with the seats down. Like, I could easily fit here. It's fine. I could easily close the hatch if I wanted. But if I want more room and I set the seats down, I actually get a bit more room. And while we're back here, since you're a hot hatch driver, you probably want a sub, and here it is. It's Sony, like all of the subs, I mean all the speakers in here, so that sounds pretty good. And if you pull this floor up, you actually get not necessarily a full size, but it's like 215. The tires are 235, so it's like pretty much full size spare tire. That's pretty nice. You don't get one of those like Volkswagen Golf inflators though, which is good. You get some storage trays here for more space, and I mean I don't think many people use them that much, but it's there if you want it. And I mean, that explains why the floor sill is a little bit higher down here than it is up there with the seats down. But all in all, I'm satisfied with the trunk. Your exhaust pipes are pretty big. It's technically 2 pipes. I know it looks like one, but it's actually 2 pipes going to it, and it's a big center exhaust pipe. It sounds pretty good. I'll put some noise in there later. And I mean, if you the design of the car from the back looks pretty clean, in my opinion. You get this little body kit on the bottom, which looks pretty good. You get another ST badge up here, and you get a spoiler. And if you come closer here, you actually see that the spoiler has a hole in the center of it. It's not fake. It actually gives it reduces drag a little bit, but it's not a Civic Type R, so it doesn't actually have downforce in the back with that. Your fuel cap is here. It's kind of a weird area, so it's like right underneath your tail lamp. And on the newer Focuses, the taillights are like up to here. They're a little bit shorter, so you still get your fuel door all the way down here, which is kind of weird. But honestly, the exterior is pretty good. The interior is also really nice, so let's take a look at that also. So taking a look at the interior, it's a nice place to spend some time. Starting with the steering wheel first, I mean, you get a pretty nice leather wrapped steering wheel. You get a little ST badge here. That's kind of cool, so that differentiates it from the standard Focus. It's a push start, this one is, so you would usually get your keyhole here, but they've just covered it with a plastic piece, and they've drilled a little hole into this, and you get your push starter there. The seats are electric. There's a load of adjustments on them, so it's not a small car on the interior, which is good. You get plenty of settings here on your Sony 10-speaker audio system, and I've heard one before. It sounds pretty decent. You get sync with My Ford Touch, and that's nice too. You get turbo boost gauges. So, I mean, it tells you your oil pressure, your turbo pressure, and your oil temperature. That's kind of cool. And they are actually live gauges, so they don't just sit there to look cool. They're not fake. While you drive it, you actually see those moving around, which is pretty cool in my opinion. You get your handbrake here, and it's like, it just comes up way up high here, and they've put a little chrome piece on here, which makes it look nice. And it's really close in reach, so that if you are the typical hot hatch driver, then you could easily yank on it and do handbrake turns. You get a 6-speed manual, which I find quite sporty, and it has a reverse lock. So what that is a little collar. You pull up on it, and you could put it into reverse. I'm not going to do that right now since we're parked, but if you want to put it into reverse, all you have to do is pull up here and go into reverse. You have seat heater warmers here, and they go all the way up to 5. I mean, I've tested many cars, and they usually stop at like 3, maybe 4 if they're really nice, but 5, I mean, why would you need that much warmth? But still, it's nice to have it in the winter. I mean, the view is pretty good for a guy my height. As I said before, taller people could easily drive it as well. You get this, a sunroof too, so if you could easily bring this back and forth, get more light, get less light. Well, the car would be on for that, but it's not right now, so it's fine. All in all, I like the interior. Sitting back here, it's a nice place to be. Your seats are leather, and they feel pretty premium. You don't get a grab handle here, so most hot hatch owners, as I said, they like to pull their handbrake for some reason. I don't know, that's just what they do. So most people fling around in the back, you're kind of left to die, but your grab handle's actually kind of back here. It's a weird place. It's really big, and I mean, they just wanted to cheap out on it and make it one piece, so it's your door handle and your grab handle. Okay, and I mean, though it might look like the back visibility is bad, it honestly isn't. It's fine up front, and especially since this is a lower hot hatch, then you could usually see everything out of the back since they're taller. You get this button to put your seats down, and I mean, honestly, I swear it looks like the one just in my car. It hasn't changed at all, and I mean, it's in a nice place. You could easily put them down if you want, put them back up. All in all, the rear is good too, so I'm satisfied with the interior. Let's take a look at the engine as well. So since this is a hot hatch, you really can't skip talking about the engine. It's a 2-liter twin-scroll turbo, makes 252 horsepower, 270 to 280 pound-feet of torque depending on the year. It's pretty nice. It sounds really good. I'll get some engine noise from the hood area as well. You get an ST badge here as well, so they didn't skip on you for that. This is a plastic engine cover on it, but it honestly looks better with it. Since it's a 4-cylinder, they really highlighted that with these fake valve coverings here, which is kind of funny. One of the first go-to mods for ST owners is another air intake, and I mean, you get a resonator here, which makes it sound way better while you get up in the rev range. Since it's a twin scroll turbo, like 2500 is where you get peak power, and then it sort of like just flattens out towards the top. Goes all the way to 6500 RPM though, which is good for a turbo engine in my opinion. You get some comedy stickers as usual, so you get this one, which usually you get that on Mercedes, but here they gave it to you. Your fingers might get chopped off. Please don't put it there. I don't want to take responsibility for that. You get some information here. You get your VIN number here and a bunch of other stuff, which I'm not going to bother reading. But if you look at the language list, you get Spanish, English, and Arabic. So interesting. I didn't know they sold this in Saudi Arabia. But honestly, like, you get another sticker up here, which is vehicle emission control info. Why would you need that on a car like this? I don't think anybody buying one of these really cares about fuel economy. Like, they might, right? But not as much as, not to the point where they care about that sticker. But all in all, I'm satisfied with the engine. Plenty of power, plenty of noise, plenty of revs. It's a satisfying engine. All right, guys, taking this thing for a drive. I'll show some of the clips from inside. It sounds pretty good from the interior as well, so it's not like it's very quiet. I mean, you don't get too much road noise, but they've really managed to get that induction noise from the engine into this, and it sounds good.
It is a rough ride though compared to a normal car.
Definitely worth it though.
I've gotten used to it and I don't really mind it anymore. The longest road trip I've done is 6 hours in this, and after that my back was sore, my butt was sore. But this is a pretty great highway cruiser just because of the power. You don't even have to downshift to pass anyone or anything like that.
That's nice. Nice.
The best gas mileage I've gotten was doing that. I got up to 36 miles a gallon. Steering is feeling direct through the corners. It's a little numb, but you feel the road through the bumps, and then the bumps translate through the rack.
Oh, get that exhaust noise in.
Almost no body roll through here.
Nope, not at all. Yeah, body roll is pretty minimal for the price you're paying. Since we're at a straight line right now, coming up to a stop sign, I'll show you some of the boost gauges. So once we step on it, right now it's sitting at 0 PSI for the turbo. And if you accelerate, first gear, hardcore,
Just watch it. Go in front of us.
Yep.
Okay, you'll get a shot of this.
Yeah, get a bump. Okay. First gear, turn in the corner.
I'm gonna kick it to second, just so we don't.
He's gonna kick to second, just so we don't lose it. Oh yeah. Yep, that's definitely a great kickback in the seat. Oh yeah. Yep, definitely feel that.
And we caught him.
1 gear and we already caught the other guy. And what, he's doing like 50-ish?
Yep.
And what we gotta remember is that with a hot hatch, at the end of the day, when you're sort of done with it, you just, you know, you're tired out, you just want to go home. It could quiet down, just pop it into 6th, and it doesn't really bug you. It's just a nice cruiser. 0 to 60 is pretty fast too. 6.1 seconds. Manufacturer claim.
Oh, that's what Ford claimed?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it on Motor Trend. It was 5.9.
Yeah, Motor Trend numbers are like, I don't know. Those guys are like, they really launch at hardcore. We gotta remember this. This competed in the 2013 Best Drivers Car event. Ooh.
There's some torque steer.
Yeah, I definitely felt that, like, moving around a little bit, but that was a nice pull.
That was because of the bumps. I hit a bump and the steering wheel was kind of fighting me there.
Yeah, it just went a little bit, but...
Adds excitement.
Bam, WRX. Let's see if he launches as hard as this. Oh yeah, you definitely heard him, but... Yep, torque steer. That's a lot of noise coming from the wind, but it's a great sounding car. And look, while doing this, you still managed to get...
We're going up, we're on 26.6.
Yeah, 26.
Reset it, we were sitting at a standstill in the parking lot, so we've been going up. Not exactly being easy on it either.
Exactly.
I'm not all the way in it, but I'm not all the way off it by any means.
Oof. Feel the power. Torque steer, yeah, you see it there? Definitely feel that time because of a bump. Oof. But the sound, it really gets in deep. It's nice.
Resonator's doing work, yep.
Yeah.
Turning radius is not great in these.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. It's
that
not.
was full lock.
Alright, second gear. Third. Alright, third gear. Does it pull? Oh, yeah. Now he's in the throttle. Yeah, you definitely feel it. Kicks back into the nice Recaro seats. Right turn. Let's do a little pull. Second gear. Turbo!
That's the speed limit.
Oh, that's the speed limit. Bam. That was like...
Well, that was like big toe.
Let's give this vehicle a score. So, for this one, I mean, I kind of want to use the daily category, you know, the one with 20 points, 10 for weekdays, 10 for weekend, because of the price point that it is right now. So, since it is a hot hatch and it could do both sporty things and practical things, we'll do sporty things first. So weekends. The power is good, as I said before, 252 horsepower, 270 to 280 brake, depending on the specific year model. Not bad. I'm satisfied with that. especially for the price point. I mean, we got to keep in mind, like, you could pick these up for as cheap as 12 grand on car grooters. I searched it up today. That's not a bad price point for the sort of power you're getting. So I'll give that a 10 out of 10. It's pretty good in that term. Practicality, weekdays. Is it easy to live with on a day-to-day basis? Well, the trunk's pretty big. The interior's pretty nice. The materials aren't cheap. They could definitely last you a couple of years. They won't be worn out. It's not like the Hellcat seats, which sag over like 3 months of ownership. So I'll usually give that a 10 out of 10. So 20 out of 20, it's the perfect hot hatch for someone who's looking to buy something at 12 to 15 grand. It's not a bad car at that price point. So if you do want to buy a small hot hatch or a medium-sized hot hatch right now for a good price, check this vehicle out. This is the 2014 Ford Focus ST. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Comment any concerns that you have down below so I can make the content better. If you want to dislike the video because you think you're funny, make sure to press the dislike button twice because that dislikes it twice as hard. And as usual, my name is Mohammad. Javid. Performance is my passion. And I'll see you next time on The Young Driver.
Yo, 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 yo.
And there's a Camaro.
One Chevy boy.
Passing the CRV.
Let's go, Ford Power! Come on! Ah!